If you guys are looking for one of the most affordable full stainless axle backs available for your 2011 through 2014 V6 powered Mustang, then you should consider checking out the NXTSTEP performance system that we have here. Now this axle back will combine 304 grade stainless steel along with the 4-inch double-walled tips, all for that mid to high $200 price point. Your installation is not going to involve any cutting or permanent modification, but since all of your work is done underneath the car, the site is going to knock this one up to a 2 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter in about an hour or so from start to finish. Now as far as the sound you can expect with this thing installed, a nice deep tone overall and really not that loud. So going to my patented Wake the Neighbor scale, I have the NXTSTEP axle back coming in at a healthy 3 out of 5 on my 1 to 5 or 1 to Wake the Neighbor scale, and a relatively quiet in-car experience while cruising. But now we're going to show you how to get it installed. Tools used for this installation include a 13mm shallow socket, 13mm deep socket, extension, 3/8 ratchet, penetrating oil, impact gun, and some eye protection. All right guys, so your first step here is to obviously get the car in the air. Now if you have the benefit of working with a lift, this is going to make life a whole lot easier, or if you're doing jack and jack stands, that's fine too. Just make sure you support the car safely. So we've got our 14mm on our impact here. We're going to start by loosening up this first bolt. Now our car is a bit rusty, so if that's the case for you guys, just make sure you get some penetrating oil you have on hand first. Well guys, what started out as a 14 ended up being a 12 after we knocked about a 1/4 inch of rust off this bolt, but the Northeast hasn't been kind to this poor V6. We got our first casualty of the day here. We kind of knew this was inevitable, so at this point, we're just simply going to try to separate the clamp here at the ball socket, and then at that point we can remove the rest of the factory axle back. Well guys, after we waged World War III on this bolt, it is finally free. Had to use a combination of heat and penetrating oil. Hopefully your install is a whole lot easier. But now with that out of the way, we can get to the rest of the removal of our factory can. So we have our hanger removal tool here. This is gonna make life a whole lot easier. If not, you could always use a combination of pry bars, flathead screwdrivers, whatever you have laying around the garage. But trust me, spend a couple bucks, grab one of these guys. You'll thank me later. So let's go. With our front hanger disconnected, now we can have enough room to slide it back out of the rear hangers. Now that we have our factory axle back uninstalled from the V6, you can really compare the two systems here on the table, and there's really no comparison, right guys? Factory can designed to do one thing, and that is keep things as quiet as possible through the more traditional chamber design. Now that's not the case here with the NXTSTEP performance system, as you can see straight through by design, so you're gonna be getting a lot more sound here with this system in place. Nice step up in materials as well, guys. 304 grade stainless steel throughout is gonna be your main material. Pretty decent welds on such a budget-friendly system, and the next notable difference is going to be the tip. 4-inch double-wall tips here with the NXTSTEP system as opposed to whatever that is on your factory can. Couple nitpicks here though with our new system. First and foremost, they included the wrong clamp, so that just simply means we'll reuse our factory clamps from our factory axle back. Secondly, the flange here was kind of out of round, so we had to reshape that a little bit. These are kind of the give and takes to expect when you go with a more budget-friendly system. So you have to work a little harder to get it in place, but you are saving some money at the end of the day. So with that said, let's get this thing in place. So we have our factory clamp transferred over to our new NXTSTEP system here. Now one thing I did want to point out during the uninstall, I didn't mention, there's a couple of ways to go about the uninstall. Some guys will actually remove the actual hangers up here, drop everything down at one time. But because this car is so darn rusty, guys, I just figured I'd go the old school way and just kind of push it out of the clamps, leave the hangers up there, bolted in. It really doesn't matter which way you go, whatever is really easier for you. So with all that said, now let's get this puppy up here. With the axle back secured in the rear hangers, now I'm going to secure the hanger closest to the exit or tip here, and it will be fully hanging. So with the axle back hanging in the hangers now, we can go ahead and secure the clamp that we transferred over from our factory system. Got our 13 mil ready to go. And one thing to point out here, guys, just make sure that the tip itself is well centered within your exhaust openings, because once that guy's tightened, that's pretty much where it's gonna be. So here we go. Well, on the driver's side here, guys, I did have to end up dropping the rearmost hanger, at least if you're looking at your axle back here, in order to get everything in place. Like I said, sometimes you can get away without doing that. In this case, because these tips aren't removable, it had to be this way. So we're gonna get this thing up and we're almost there. With the rear hanger fully installed, now we can insert the hanger towards the opening here, and we're almost there. All right, guys, so our last step is to tighten this final clamp here at the ball socket style flange. When you're doing this, in order to have the tip situated just how you like it and to be able to tighten this up fully, you have to have 4 hands. So in that case, if you have a buddy around to help you either hold the tip in place while you hammer it home, vice versa, I highly recommend it. Well, guys, that's going to wrap up our review and install of the NXTSTEP Performance Axle Back Exhaust System for your V6 powered S197. Thanks again for watching, and remember, for all things Mustang, keep it right here at AmericanMuscle.com.